Ah, yes, otters. Nature's little hand-holding teddy bears of the sea. Except these adorable bastards are actually furry little rape machines with a side hobby in necrophilia and baby kidnapping. Yeah, you heard that right. While you've been reblogging their cute videos and buying otter plushies, these fuzzy psychopaths have been out here committing literal crimes against nature. So buckle up, because I'm about to absolutely destroy your perception of the internet's favorite aquatic mammal, and honestly, you're never going to look at those hand-holding photos the same way again. Let's get into it. The mating. Let's start with how male otters treat the ladies, and by treat I mean violently assault. You've probably seen those viral photos of otters holding hands while they sleep, right? Everyone's out here like all relationship goals, they hold hands so they don't drift apart. Yeah, that's technically true, but what nobody tells you is why these females are so desperate to stay in groups. Male sea otters don't do courtship, they don't do romance, they just straight up attack females and force mating on them. And I'm not talking about aggressive mating, I'm talking about biting the female's nose so hard it leaves permanent scars, holding her underwater during the entire process, and sometimes literally drowning her if she struggles too much. The nose bites go down to the bone. We're talking tissue damage so severe that researchers can identify adult females just by looking at their mutilated, scarred-up faces. Every single adult female otter has these scars, because every single one has been through this trauma multiple times. Scientists literally use nose scarring as a marker for sexual maturity. That's not a mating ritual, that's a crime scene with witnesses. Some females don't survive, either from the bite wounds getting infected or from straight up drowning during the attack. In areas with high male aggression, up to 11% of female otter deaths are directly caused by male sexual violence. 11%. So yeah, those hand-holding photos, that's not romance, that's two traumatized individuals forming a safety buddy system to avoid getting attacked in their sleep. That's not couple goals, that's survival strategy. And speaking of things that don't survive the mating process, the necrophilia. But wait, what happens if the female doesn't survive the mating? Surely the male moves on, right? Surely there's some kind of biological off switch that says, okay, this one's dead, time to find a living partner. Nope. Male otters will continue mating with dead females for days after death. Not hours. Days. Multiple males will sometimes take turns with the same corpse, like they're passing around a particularly messed up party favor. One documented case showed a male otter going at it with a deceased female for over an hour straight, taking little breaks to groom himself because apparently hygiene is important even during necrophilia, and then going right back to it. They've been observed dragging corpses around, positioning them, treating them like some kind of disturbing flotation device. Marine biologists have extensively documented this behavior, but they don't exactly advertise it because it absolutely destroys the otter's cuddly public image. In scientific literature, they call it necrophilic mating behavior, which is just a sterile way of saying this fuzzy little guy's out here violating dead bodies. This is literally the aquatic version of a true crime documentary, except the perpetrator is adorable and makes squeaky noises. So next time you see an otter grooming itself all cute and meticulous, just remember it might be cleaning up after spending quality time with a corpse. Really reframes that whole self-care routine, doesn't it? And I can literally hear some of y'all screaming, why would you tell me this? But you clicked on a video called Let Me Ruin Otters for You, so this is on you. But hey, at least they're only doing this to their own species, right? Wrong. Let's talk about what they do to babies. The hostages. Now let's talk about how otters treat babies, and I'm not talking about their own. You probably think otters are protective, caring parents who teach their babies to swim and crack open shellfish, right? All that wholesome National Geographic content. Well, here's what they don't show you. Male otters will straight up kidnap baby otters and harbor seal pups and hold them hostage to extort food from the mothers. I'm not exaggerating, this is documented behavior. They'll grab a pup, swim away with it, and basically ransom the baby back for food. If mom brings enough fish or shellfish, maybe the baby gets returned alive. Maybe. Sometimes the male keeps the pup anyway and just lets it starve while using it as a living teddy bear or stress toy. And if the male gets bored or frustrated, He'll bite it to death or just hold it underwater until it drowns. It's like if someone kidnapped your kid, demanded your lunch money, ate your lunch right in front of you, then murdered your kid anyway, just because they felt like it. That's the level of sociopath behavior we're dealing with here. Biologists have recorded males holding seal pups hostage for up to a week. Most of those pups die from stress, starvation, hypothermia, or drowning. And here's where it gets even worse. Some males will assault the seal pups before killing them. Yes, cross-species sexual assault, because apparently their regular crimes weren't enough of a rap sheet. So those viral videos of otters playing with baby seals? That's not playing. That's a hostage situation in progress. You're watching a kidnapping while going, "Oh, look how gentle he is with it." Read the room. The baby seals cry for their mothers the entire time, and the mothers can hear them screaming and can't do anything about it. But sure, let's talk about how they're not done killing things yet. The serial killing. You think the baby hostages are the worst of it? Let's talk about otters' general approach to literally any other species they encounter. Most people think otters eat fish and shellfish, right? Cute little divers catching dinner. Very circle of life, very nature documentary wholesome. Wrong. Otters are indiscriminate serial killers who murder for sport. They kill seabirds just for entertainment, not for food. Literally just because they can. They'll grab ducks, coots, and gulls, drown them through playful dunking, and then just leave the corpses floating in the water like some kind of aquatic crime scene. Researchers have documented individual otters killing over a dozen birds in a single day and eating exactly 0 of them. 0. Pure sport killing. They also raid seabird nesting colonies, crushing eggs and killing chicks, seemingly just for the chaos and carnage of it all. It's not even strategic, it's recreational violence. Imagine if your neighbor's golden retriever started systematically going through the neighborhood, snapping the necks of every cat it saw. Not eating them, just collecting bodies for fun. That's otter energy. And river otters are even worse. They've completely decimated koi pond populations in residential areas, killing hundreds of dollars worth of ornamental fish, and maybe eating like 10% of them. They kill alligators. Alligators. These little fuzzy guys will gang up with their homies and bully an actual prehistoric apex predator to death just because they felt like it that day. The audacity is unmatched. These fluffy little demons looked at the entire concept of the food chain and said, "Nah, I'm gonna kill everything regardless of hunger, self-defense, or basic logic." They're the serial killers of the animal kingdom, except they're small enough to fit in a tote bag. And before you try to defend them by saying, "Well, lots of animals kill for fun," name me one other species that does all of this. I'll wait. But here's the truly disturbing part about all of this. The manipulation. Now here's the truly messed up part that ties all of this together. Everything about otters is specifically designed to manipulate you into thinking they're innocent. Every single adorable behavior you've ever seen is just a repackaged crime scene. Those otters holding hands while they sleep? That's 2 assault victims clinging to each other so they don't drift away and drown from exhaustion after being attacked. The cute praying pose where they hold their little paws together. They're crushing shellfish to death with rocks, literally using tools to commit more violence. That adorable squeaking noise they make, often stress vocalizations from being harassed or attacked by other otters. The face rubbing and grooming. They're cleaning blood and bits of their victims from their whiskers after a killing spree. Otters are one of the few animals with clearly visible facial expressions, and scientists think this evolved specifically to make other otters and apparently stupid humans less likely to murder them on sight. It's a defense mechanism against their own violence. They're so horrible to each other that they had to evolve puppy dog eyes just to survive. And that insanely dense fur that makes them look like fuzzy little teddy bears, they have up to 1 million hairs per square inch, the densest fur of any animal on Earth, which requires 3 to 5 hours of daily grooming. That's not self-care, that's evidence disposal. They need that much fur because they have 0 body fat for insulation, meaning they'd literally freeze to death without it. Evolution designed them to either be adorable or die, and they chose adorable psychopath. It's like if Ted Bundy had big innocent eyes and a charming smile. Oh, wait. Nature really looked at the assignment and said, "I'm going to create the most violent, depraved little monster possible and wrap it in the cutest package imaginable, just to test humanity's critical thinking skills." And we failed. We collectively failed so hard that aquariums market these things as conservation darlings and put them on merchandise with hearts and rainbows while they're out here committing literal war crimes. So yeah, I just spent the last several minutes telling you that the internet's favorite fuzzy little handholders are actually violent rapists, necrophiliacs, baby kidnappers, serial killers, and master manipulators wrapped in the most deceptively adorable package nature could design. You're welcome for that. Next time someone sends you a cute otter video, you're gonna see all of this playing in your head like a disturbing highlight reel, and I'm not even sorry about it. I've permanently rewired your brain, and honestly, it needed to happen. But hey, for all my otter lovers out there, it's all just nature being nature, right? They're still objectively adorable. They're just adorable psychopaths. And honestly, kind of relatable.